Going on YouTube? Welcome to Stack the Box, where we're doing everything football. You guys name it: mock drafts, news, predictions, fantasy football help, all that jazz, rankings. What we're gonna be doing today. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Would greatly appreciate. On the road to 100 subscribers. We're just gonna be trying this out. Make sure to go down in the description. Follow the Twitter, follow the TikToks. Gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great time. Let's go ahead and get right into ranking the 32 quarterbacks based on what I think they'll do this season. This is going in. This is not just predicting how they are right now. This is predicting how they will do in the season and where I'll have them pretty much ranked, where I think they'll rank after this season. So starting off 32, we have Tyrod Taylor of the Houston Texans. Obviously, he is the predicted starter as of right now. It's Tyrod Taylor. He's not going to bring you much. He is a backup quarterback. He would be on any other team besides the Texans for sure. I just don't think he's going to be great. 31, we have Cam Newton. We don't even know if he's going to win the starting job right now. He could honestly lose it to Mac Jones, but I'm just not a. I used to be a Cam Newton believer. I've always wanted him to do good just because I don't know. I just love Cam Newton, but he just doesn't seem that he can get going again. Number 30, we have Zach Wilson of the New York Jets. I just don't see him being good this year. I feel like he needed to be on a team where he can sit behind someone and kind of learn, but I think he will be okay in the future, pretty good in the future. He just needs time to develop and learn. He isn't quite ready in my opinion. At 29, Andy Dalton. He'll probably be starting the first couple weeks of the season. Then Justin Fields will be on here. But obviously, since he isn't the projected starter, I'm not going to go ahead and predict where I think he'll be at. Just because, who knows, maybe Andy Dalton turns out to be good somehow, and he ends up becoming the all-time starter for this season. He'll definitely won't be after this season. Justin Fields will take over. At 28, Jalen Hurts. I'm not a big fan of Jalen Hurts. Never really have been. I feel like he's going to obviously have that offense be a lot more dynamic. They're going to be running probably stuff like read options, triple options. They're going to be using Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders on the field at one time is what I think they'll do. Just a lot of weird plays that you guys are probably going to see out of the Eagles this year. Number 27, we have Drew Lock. I'm a pretty big Drew Lock believer. I feel like he could be pretty good. He just can be a little shaky sometimes in the pocket and kind of just fumble the bag. I guess you can say that, fumble the bag. But he does have the obviously has the arm, massive arm. He can definitely he has the talent to do good. I just feel like he needs to put a few more things together in order to be that not top quarterback. I don't think he'll ever be a top quarterback, but just that'd be at least an average to above average quarterback. 26, we have Tua. This is a big year for Tua. I know it's only his second year. But he has the weapons now. His O-line is okay. It's not very great, but it's not horrible. He has the weapons now. This is probably going to be a big boom or bust season for Tua, and I'm going to lean towards more of the bust. I'm going to be honest. 25, Sam Darnold. He goes to a new team, fresh air, new weapons, pretty much the same O-line. There really isn't much between that and the Jets O-line. Maybe honestly the Panthers might be a worse O-line, to be honest. Sam Darnold getting paired with DJ Moore is going to help him so much. DJ Moore is so good. He can make any quarterback look good. He has the last 2 seasons with Teddy Bridgewater and oh my god, why can't I think of the quarterback of the 2019 Panthers? Anyway, I can't think of it, but was it? No, it wasn't Cam Newton. Oh, it was oh my god, why can't I think of him? Whatever, I can't think of him. Moving on to 24 to 17. Now we have 24, Jimmy Garoppolo. Once again, this is if he even starts out a little bad, I think they're gonna end up benching him for Trey Lance. I just don't see him keeping his job if he doesn't perform. 23, Daniel Jones. He obviously has the deep ball. He has a pretty good deep ball based on the stats last season. He just needs to learn how to move out of the pocket. He's kind of the opposite of Drew Lock, in which he sits in the pocket for so long, and obviously the pocket collapses. The New York O-line is not good at all. It just collapsed on him, and he is the reason for some of the sacks most of the time. And he just needs to learn when to roll out, and he gets too comfortable in the pocket, and he can take unnecessary hits all the time. At 22, we have Jared Goff. I'm not a big Jared Goff fan. Obviously, a couple years back, he was really dominant, but I don't see him bringing that back with 0 weapons outside of TJ Hawkinson. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be pretty good this year for a rookie, but obviously he's not going to be that top tier guy. Obviously, I don't see him being someone like Justin Jefferson at all. He's a third round guy. Maybe he does. Maybe he's like a Terry McLaurin, but who knows? I just don't think that the Lions are going to be good enough for Jared Goff to be good. At 21, Jameis Winston. I'm a big Jameis Winston guy. I always have been. I don't know why I like Jameis Winston, but I just, for some reason, I just like him a lot. I feel like he's going to have a pretty good year. Learning under Drew Brees for the last year is going to help him out a ton. I think it's going to help him read the field better. And I feel like he's definitely going to cut down on the interceptions. Probably going to still be like a 15 interception guy, but definitely isn't going to be like a 30 interception guy. Again, that's like unrealistic, to be honest. So yeah, Jameis Winston at 21. At 20, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Everyone loves Ryan Fitzpatrick. If you don't like Ryan Fitzpatrick, there's something wrong with you. And then at 20, I just feel like he's going to be just enough to get them into the playoffs. I just don't think they're going to get past the playoffs. A little sneak peek at maybe the predictions we do for the season predictions. At 19, Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger is just declining. There's nothing else to say about him, really. They just released David DeCastro, and their O-line's in shambles. It's going to be like last year, with a lot of quick, short passes. They're not going to be able to get a lot done. At number 18, we have Trevor Lawrence. Pretty decent O-line, pretty good core of receivers to go ahead and throw the ball to. And then obviously has the GOAT, Tim Tebow at tight end. So I just expect a lot from Trevor Lawrence, being a number 1 overall pick and being one of the best prospects we've ever seen. I expect him to be a top 10 QB by next year, easily. At number 17, we have a bounce back season from Carson Wentz. Hopefully he even has a better season. I've always been a big Carson Wentz guy. At being around just a really probably the best O-line in the league, and then his weapons are okay. Michael Pittman should have a pretty decent year. And then they have T.J. Hilton, who is obviously aging, but it's a lot better of a situation in general than he was with the Eagles. Now we have the 16-9 rankings. At 16, I have Joe Burrow. I feel like he's going to be sort of around where he was last year. He could really surprise people, and I think he could play like a top 10 QB this year. I just don't see, without the huge improvements at O-line, besides Jackson Carman, I believe, and Riley Reef. I think those are the two big upgrades on the O-line. I just don't see him making that spectacular upgrade, but who knows? Like I said, I could see him booming and be maybe like a Baker Mayfield type of like 11 ranked. Number 15 with Derek Carr. Derek Carr, he's going to be Derek Carr. He's really changed his game a lot. He used to be that really kind of like scared, kind of like a Drew Lock, where he would be scared, obviously not like the same arm as Drew Lock, but he would be really scared. He would try to do all the type of dink and dunks, and just he would be scared to go deep. Completely not how he thinks now. He has a lot of confidence, a lot of poise in the pocket. He does not take checkdowns very much, which sucks because I think Josh Jacobs could turn into a decent receiving back, but they just don't use him like one. Number 14, Matt Ryan, obviously losing Julio Jones, but they gained Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts could be one of the best receiving. I don't know what you even want to label him. He's a receiver. He can play tight end, either one of them. I feel like he's going to be one of the best receiving or tight ends that we've seen ever, just based off of what, like, his build and what he did in college. I mean, he could completely bust, but if he doesn't, I feel like he's going to be one of the best to ever do it. At number 13, we have Kirk Cousins. That was a really bold take. I'm not going to lie. That was a very bold take. Number 13, Kirk Cousins. He had one of the best second halves last year that we've seen in a while. He was literally flawless, but the defense sucked so bad. I do not see him keeping up with what he did last season. It's not something Kirk Cousins can do. Obviously, I don't see Kirk Cousins becoming so much of a better quarterback in his age 31 season, maybe even 32. I just don't see it happening. At number 12, though, we have Ryan Tannehill. Now, Ryan Tannehill, you would expect him to be higher. I take in what his role is into my rankings. It's what a lot of people do say, is that he does not do a lot, and it is true. I mean, he has one of the best run games, if not a top 2 or 3 run game in the league with Derrick Henry, and then he has 2 very, very, very good receivers in Julio Jones now and A.J. Brown. He just has a really good offensive scheme. Now, obviously, he lost that offensive scheme. We'll see how good this one is. I think it'll be similar to the one that he ran last year. But we really will see how Ryan Tannehill does this year with all those great weapons. It just sucks that the Titans defense isn't very good. At number 11, we have Baker Mayfield. I feel like Baker Mayfield could even be a top 8 quarterback. It just really depends on how him and OBJ their connection is this year. Obviously last year it was getting better, but it didn't happen because OBJ tore his ACL. But yeah, it was really inconsistent. I feel like Baker was forcing himself to throw the ball to OBJ, which cannot happen in that offense. It literally just will not work at all. At number 10, I literally forgot about Justin Herbert when I was making my list. I don't know how, I just did. But at number 10, I have Justin Herbert. Now, I can easily see him and Joe Burrow being switched. I feel like Justin Herbert's one of those guys that could have a very bad sophomore slump. I'm not going to predict it because I don't like predicting that on guys. But I could see him doing it. I think it's either a boom or bust. I feel like he could be as good as 7 or as bad as 16 this year. Or maybe even as bad as 20, in my opinion, if he has a bad year. But I just don't see him with Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Just I don't see him, and in a very improved O-line, I don't see him slumping. Number 9, Matthew Stafford. Obviously, he's getting all the hype with him being on the Rams now. A very solid offensive line, good weapons around him, something he's really never had outside of the weapons. And I think it's kind of funny is because he's never had that great of an O-line, but now since he's gone, it's just continuing to build up and be a lot better, which I just find funny. We're getting into the 8 to 5 rankings here. Getting into number 5, we have Dak Prescott. This is the bold one. I mean, number 8, Tom Brady. We'll get down to Dak Prescott. Number 8, Tom Brady. If he can somehow consistently be a top 10 QB until he retires, which probably hopefully be only like 3 more years, because I mean he can't play for forever. The fact that he's still in a top 8 quarterback when he's 42, 43 years old is just insane. But he is in one of the best systems and obviously he is on the most complete team in football. And I just don't see him taking that big of a step down. I could see him being outside the top 10, but not far out. Number 7, Kyler Murray. I have him making a big step up. Hopefully Kyler Murray does not have to deal with the horrible play calling from Cliff Kingsbury. Hopefully Cliff Kingsbury got that out of his system last year, and maybe he turns up this year and actually is a half decent play caller, because that is really what brought that team down last year, the Cardinals, is his lack of play calling, his lack of being able to get DeAndre Hopkins open, or even just other people open when DeAndre Hopkins has 2 or 3 people on him. Kyler Murray did struggle a lot with intermediate throws, like those 10 to 20 yard passes. It felt like over the middle he was really bad at. Hopefully he can fix that. I can see one of the reasons. It's kind of like a Russell Wilson situation, where Russell Wilson always has to scramble out because he is not tall enough to see over the O-line sometimes. So he has to go out and scramble just to be able to like see the field more. And yeah, so number 6, we have Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, easily one of the most fun running backs to watch. I mean, since Vic, obviously. Number 6, though, I feel like it's a good spot. I feel like he could switch with Tom Brady in between. Not right now, but depending on how they play. I just feel like if he has... they added the receivers that he needed, and I just don't see him taking that much of a step back, especially when he can use his legs like he does. And I feel like he's going to improve a lot as a thrower. He did last year, even though it didn't really show. He was making a lot better of reads and just making a lot more accurate throws. At number 5, I have Dak Prescott. Like we mentioned earlier, I feel like Dak Prescott is going to be taking a huge leap with someone like CeeDee Lamb. I feel like he's going to take a huge leap as well. And I just feel like Dak Prescott's going to be labeled as a top 5 quarterback. I feel like he's going to lead the league in passing yards, and I don't think he's going to be more than outside the top 5 in rushing, passing touchdowns, depending on how many rushing touchdowns Zeke has. Yeah, I love Dak Prescott this year. I don't like the Cowboys that much this year, but I just feel like Dak Prescott's going to do a lot to be able to make this team at least functional, because they have the talent. It's really the coaching. And to finish off 4 through 1, at number 4, we have Russell Wilson. I do think him and Josh Allen could be interchangeable. I feel like Russell Wilson's going to have a very solid year. He just always seems to either start off really bad and then end hot, or just he's never had like that really consistent season of just being dominant. Like last year, he was amazing in the first half, like unstoppable, and then the second half he kind of slowed down. Seems like teams figured it out. They weren't running the ball enough, and it just wasn't a good balance. Number 3, we have Josh Allen, which Josh Allen, I feel like he's just going to improve even more from last year, and that's going to be hard to do because he was damn right perfect sometimes last year. At number 2, obviously a big question mark if Aaron Rodgers is going to play. I do think he's going to play personally as a Packers fan. I don't really have a problem with what he's doing right now. Unless he doesn't come to training camp, then obviously it's a done deal. I don't see him playing. But really, I don't think minicamp meant a lot. I feel like the biggest thing is training camp, and I feel like he's going to show up. And then finally, not much to say for number 1. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. And that is going to do it. If you guys did enjoy the video, you guys like the rankings, let me know what you guys would have differently. Obviously, everyone else has their different opinions. So if you didn't like it, I completely understand. That's your opinion. And yeah, that's going to be it. Make sure you guys hit the like button once again and subscribe if you guys are new. More content to come. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.